Investigating the problem, getting results. This is Wave 3 News at 6.
A bill to allow DNA testing on some Kentucky juveniles has won approval from a state Senate panel.
And that bill would apply to youngsters 14 years or older who are found guilty of sexual offenses. The proposal cleared the Senate Judiciary Committee today. The bill's lead sponsor, Representative Reginald Meeks, says the bill will guarantee that Kentucky receives federal funds by complying with the Adam Walsh Child Protection Safety Act. Meeks says those funds are used to process and store DNA samples.
Wave 3 News at 6 starts now.
A big break in a rape case that has gone unsolved for nearly a decade. We'll show you how a new Kentucky law is already helping detectives.
Investigating the problem, getting results. This is Wave 3 News at 6.
Good evening, I'm Jackie Hayes.
And I'm Scott Reynolds. There's a crack in a brutal sexual assault case from 9 years ago, and it's all because of the help of a new law.
Police say they now know who raped a 23-year-old woman inside her Louisville home back in 2000. Wave 3's Maricela Burgos is live with more on this case. Maricela?
Police believe they have solved this case, and it's thanks to DNA. Now, this woman was raped and tied up back in 2000, and police believe because of DNA, they could now put a face on their suspect.
This is one of those cases that you really don't forget about, with being such a brutal, type of sexual assault.
After 9 years of searching, Sergeant Greg Burnett thanks DNA for helping him solve his case. Back in 2000, the department sent a rape kit from its victim to the state and had never had a match until now. The match is suspect 46-year-old Robert Sawyers. In November 2008, Sawyers was convicted for not paying child support. A new law requires everyone convicted of a felony to submit DNA samples. His DNA was sent to the state, and the state recently linked him to the 2000 sexual assault case.
You cannot imagine I won't say joy, but the satisfaction of knowing that a piece of work that you've been involved in for a number of years truly paid off.
While the bill went into effect July of 2008, this is the state's first match.
This is just the beginning. This is just the beginning, and we are going to see significant numbers of hits, not just here in Jefferson County, but throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky.
Just to put this into perspective, before this new bill, the state processed 1,500 DNA samples. As a result of this new bill, they have gotten 16,000 different samples to process. Now, I know they have a lot of workload, but they are thankful that this new bill has passed, and they hope they can solve many more cases. Reporting live, Maricela Burgos, Wave 3 News.
This is 11 at 11 on WHAS 11 News. Good evening, everyone. I'm Doug Proffitt.
And I'm Melissa Swan. It was a brutal crime when it happened, and it went unsolved for 9 years here in Louisville. A U of L student was tied up and raped.
Today, police announced that they solved the crime thanks to DNA and a new Kentucky law. WHAS 11's Melanie Kahn tells us it was an emotional day for police officers who never gave up on this case.
In February 2000, a man broke into a U of L student's home, tied her up, and raped her multiple times. The lead detective, Sergeant Greg Burnett, worked tirelessly on the case, but never found a suspect.
This is one of those cases that you really don't forget about, with being such a brutal, type of sexual assault. It was one that just not only myself, but everybody in the unit really we really tried to do everything we could to solve it, exhausted every lead that we could.
The case remained cold for 9 years and inspired State Representative Reginald Meeks to write a bill, one that became law last summer, requiring all felons in Kentucky to submit to DNA testing. The test went into a database with DNA evidence from crime scenes. A few months later, police found a match between that 9-year-old cold case and 46-year-old Robert Sawyers, who was convicted with a felony for not paying child support.
You cannot imagine I won't say joy, but the satisfaction of knowing that a piece of work that you've been involved in for a number of years truly paid off in a significant way.
This piece of work will likely help police solve similar cases, something Denise Vasquez-Troutman, CEO of the Center for Women and Families, says she's been hoping for.
Anytime that a perpetrator can be taken off the street, or we know for sure that he will not commit a crime, is a good day, especially when it comes to sexual assault in this city.
Melanie Kahn, WHAS 11 News.
This is WLKY, live, local, late breaking. Your complete news coverage for Greater Louisville starts right now.
But first, 9 years after a sexual attack, DNA helps police catch a suspect. Good evening to you. I'm Rick Van Hoos.
I'm Vicki Dorch. Louisville police say forensic evidence is what led to the arrest of a man suspected in a 9-year-old rape case.
The arrest comes 1 month after the state legislature passed a bill forcing all convicted felons to provide DNA samples to the state. Eric King is live at police headquarters with information on the first arrest under this new law. Eric?
You know, Rick, so often when we talk about cases on a national level, DNA is used to get people out of jail. Well, the Kentucky State Legislature and Louisville Metro Police are changing the script. The long arm of the law now has a much farther reach.
I firmly believe this is just the beginning.
Thanks to a DNA match, Robert Sawyers is behind bars for a crime Louisville Metro Police say he committed 9 years ago.
In early 2000, our 23-year-old victim was burglarized, raped, sodomized, and left tied up.
Last month, Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear signed into law a bill forcing all convicted felons to submit a DNA test to the state. And it so happens Sawyers was recently convicted of flagrant non-support of a child. Police say the sample he was forced to provide links him to the 2000 crime.
This law has created the best identification tool for Kentucky law enforcement to use in their investigations since fingerprinting began in the state of Kentucky around 1913.
While Louisville police hope Sawyer's arrest is the first of many cold cases heated up by forensic evidence, there are scores of prisoners hoping forensic evidence will clear their names. According to the Innocence Project, a national group working to free innocent people, hundreds of inmates have been released in the last 2 decades, a direct result of forensic evidence. Their only Kentucky case came back in 2000 when William Gregory was cleared of rape and burglary. Now with Robert Sawyer's arrest, the first under the new law, state leaders are hoping for safer streets.
We are going to see significant numbers of hits, not just here in Jefferson County, but throughout the Commonwealth of Kentucky, that will help solve unsolved cases in the Commonwealth and help make our state safer for all of our citizens.
And the victim in this case has been notified. We're told she is planning to help prosecute Mr. Sawyer. Footnote here, Sawyer is expected to be indicted by a grand jury tomorrow. Live at Metro Police Headquarters, Eric King, WLKY News.
Thank you, Eric. There are almost 1,000 forensic cases waiting for analysis at the State Crime Lab in Frankfort. These are cases that could prove a person's guilt or innocence.